So you're thinking about moving to Slidell, Louisiana, but you want to know the pros and the cons before you make that big move probably, right? Well, I am going to walk you through some of those and we are going to get after it right now. Okay, really quick, I would just like to introduce myself. My name is Riley and my team and I have helped thousands and thousands of people just like you with their smooth move to New Orleans and really to anywhere in Louisiana, including here in Slidell. So if that's you, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, go ahead and shoot us a text or an email. You can give us a call or you can schedule a Zoom call with us, and we would love to help you with your smooth move to our beautiful state of Louisiana. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so pro number one. The first pro is that there are so many things to do outdoors here. There's so many things to do in general, but there's so many things to do outdoors, and especially if you love to be on the water or close to the water. So as you can see, I am here at one of the golf courses. This golf course is partially on the water over here, and look at those homes in the background too. So stunning. There are just so many things to do. So if you enjoy boating or kayaking, paddleboarding, jet skiing, or wave runner, whatever you like to do outdoors, fishing, if you're a big fisherman, Slidell is a great place to live. There are just endless opportunities, and golfing too. I mean, I'm right here at one of the most beautiful golf courses, and this is just a little tiny section of it. If you enjoy outdoor activities, especially relating to the water, then you will really enjoy Slidell. All right, so my next point is really going to be a pro or con, just depending on your preference. But to get to New Orleans, or the downtown area of New Orleans from Slidell, it is going to take about 35 minutes without any traffic at all. Now, if you work in New Orleans, it's going to be very unlikely that it's only going to take you 35 minutes because there is traffic both getting to and leaving the Slidell area to New Orleans. So you can almost always count on there being traffic, especially in this one section. It's, for some reason, you make a big bend and you go over the bridge and then you get into the New Orleans area, and from then on out, especially during rush hour times, you're going to sit in traffic. It's almost guaranteed. So yes, you are away from the city, which a lot of people do love, but a lot of people don't like that. So for the people who do love being out of that downtown hustle bustle busy city, it's nice to be 35 minutes away from that, from Bourbon Street. But if you do want to live a little bit closer, maybe Slidell isn't your cup of tea. And if you hate sitting in traffic and you need to go work in New Orleans every single day, then that will definitely be a con for you. All right, now moving on to a pro. Okay, so as you can see, we are at a new spot and we pulled up to a restaurant called Mittendorf's. I know that is such a weird name. Mittendorf's has the best, hands down, the best catfish you will ever have, I promise you. And that brings me on to our pro number two. So our pro number two is going to be that Slidell has such great restaurants. Everything, like specifically seafood restaurants. If you love seafood, then you are going to love the restaurants here in Slidell. But if you don't love seafood, there are tons of other options as well. Actually, where I was just at is one of my favorite Italian restaurants in Slidell called Joe's. There are some really good Mexican restaurants over here, and some really good pizza places over here as well. But hands down, Slidell has amazing seafood. So that's going to be pro number two, is great food. Okay, so moving on to our next con. Our next con is going to have to be weather. like a lot of other areas of Louisiana as well. Slidell gets so hot in the summer. From July, August, September, like those months right there, it is so hot and muggy. You have to be like on a boat or with your head out the window or in AC, or you just really enjoy being hot because it does get warm. Okay, you want the fans going, you want like the misters and all the things if you're gonna sit outside with your friends and family because it's warm. Or hopefully one of your family or friends have like a pool or something like that, or a boat. But anyway, it's not that the degrees gets very hot. Well, it does, but compared to like Nevada or Utah or some of those western states, New Mexico, where the degrees will get like 100 degrees, it doesn't necessarily get hot like that, where it's like a sauna, like you're roasting like an oven. That sounds horrible, but it's not like that. It's very wet and muggy. So it'll be like 90 degrees, but with the humidity, it will feel like 110. So that will and thankfully that's only for a couple months of the year, but it's definitely worth mentioning that the weather here gets very hot. But I would have to say, on the flip side, maybe we can turn this into a pro, is we really don't get crazy weather for winter. So like right now it's March and I am in a dress and a light sweater, but it is kind of towards the end of the day. Anyway, the winters here are a breeze. They are so easy. We may have one day where it'll drop to freezing temperatures out of like the whole year, but that is an if. So you can count on the weather's being easy. If you're someone who doesn't like to shovel snow or drive in snow or be in like 10-degree weather in the winter, then you will love that aspect of Slidell, Louisiana, that we have great winters. But you can't forget the summers. Okay, moving on to our next pro. Okay, so we are at our last location for today's video. We are at Fremo Town Center. As you can probably see behind me, there's great shopping here, and you might not be able to see because of where I'm parked, but there's also really great dining. So you can see Ulta, Dick's Sporting Goods, there's a Best Buy over there, Kirkland's, PetSmart, Michael's, Kohl's, TJ Maxx. There's a huge, amazing gym right there. There's a Banks, and like I said, lots of different dining and little like fast food places. I actually just picked up a Starbucks just now, a tea. I was needing a little boost, a little caffeine boost. Okay, so moving on to our next pro though. Our next pro is going to have to be that Slidell is affordable. The cost of living here is actually really, really good. So based on a national average of 100, Slidell is rated 88. Now, when comparing Slidell to other cities of the North Shore, Slidell is located on the North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain, but the North Shore also includes towns like Madisonville, Mandeville, Covington, places like that. And on the South Shore of Lake Pontchartrain, we have New Orleans, the downtown area of New Orleans and Metairie and so on. Now, Slidell, when compared to most of those places, especially New Orleans or the majority of New Orleans, Slidell is very, very affordable, especially when it comes to housing. And I would have to say, I don't know this statistically, I would have to look it up, but knowing so many people on the North Shore in general, I would say that Slidell is probably the most affordable on the North Shore as well, especially when it comes to housing. So if you're looking in this area, or you are interested in moving to this area, I think that is a huge pro, because not only is the housing more affordable, but cost of living is talking about things like groceries and gas and transportation and utilities and so many other things. So that is why that would have to be a pro on our list for today. Now let's go ahead and switch over to a con. Okay, here is the last con I'm gonna give you today for Slidell. And it is probably my least favorite thing, maybe my least favorite thing about living in Slidell potentially, and that is the bugs. The freaking bugs. But maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just a big baby. I hate bugs, and we have all the bugs, okay? We have moths, bees, we have spiders of all sorts, we have ants, and not just regular ants. We have big like ant mounds, so of like fire ants, where if you go and accidentally step in a fire ant mound, you will instantly regret not looking where you were walking. They will bite you and itch and be awful. We have cockroaches here. We have huge crickets the size of my hand that are black. They're horrifying. But whatever. Maybe I just sound like a big baby or a big girl. I don't even care. But I would say that my least favorite part of living in Slidell, and the last con, is going to have to be those freaking bugs. Okay, I am going to leave you with one last pro for today's video. And if you want to know more pros and cons about Slidell, go ahead and drop it in the comments or send us a text message, something like that, to let me know that you are interested in learning more. So the last pro is for today is going to be that Slidell is the perfect middle ground, or in between being a small town and a bigger city. So what do I mean by that? It's very, in my opinion, there's areas that are very much so quaint and peaceful. There's lots of nature here. Like I was saying earlier, there's tons of things to do outdoors. But at the same time, Slidell has everything, at least one of everything. So you never have to leave Slidell if you don't want to. But that's what I mean by that. There's everything that you could possibly need, but at the same time, it doesn't feel overwhelming or overpopulated or overcrowded, bombarding by any means, or bombarding. It doesn't feel like that. It's very much so people have their own space, and like I said, it's just a very peaceful town in my opinion. And there's lots of great culture and uniqueness to it as well. I wasn't able to take you to Old Town Slidell, that area today. It was actually blocked off because there was a little bit of a festival going on, like a vendors festival, I think is what you call it, where local vendors are selling their goods on the streets and they block it off. So I didn't want to be walking around with my selfie stick. Anyway, Slidell is, I think, the perfect in between, and I would think that many people would feel that way as well. Because I think, in my opinion, I think that a lot of people, they don't want to be in such a small town where they would have to leave 30 minutes to go to the nearest grocery store, but at the same time, they don't want it to be overcrowding and over bombarding like a lot of areas of, let's say, like New York City and San Francisco, and even areas of New Orleans, if I'm being honest with you. So that is one of the pros and one of the reasons why I love Slidell so much. Now, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. All right, so to wrap up this video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. Whether you are moving in 9 days or you're moving in 90 days, please reach out to us. You can send us an email or a text message. You can give us a call or schedule a Zoom call with us. And we would love to help you with your smooth move to Slidell, to New Orleans, or really anywhere in Louisiana. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video and maybe you were able to learn something new about Slidell, please go ahead and hit the like button, and always subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about the greater New Orleans area. We love having you. Please come and join the New Orleans family, and we'll see you in the next video.